Guys, welcome back to my channel. As you can see, I am very makeup-less on my face right now, and the reason for this is that today's video is going to be back to school makeup. Now, I have gone through my makeup collection and gone through the steps of how I would probably try and do my makeup if I'm going back to school, and I've come up with 10 steps thanks to which you can achieve very natural looking but still covering makeup, if you know what I mean. Now, obviously it is very individual to each and every single school. With some schools you might get away with more than with some others. This is purely for any of you who are going to the secondary school or who are going to private college where you're not allowed to wear a lot of makeup, or generally if you have strict parents and they don't like you wearing too much makeup under 18, which, trust me, I've been there. That was my basically my dad. I wasn't allowed to wear much makeup, and this is basically for all of you, and also for you who go to secondary school and can't get away with a lot of makeup because the teachers will go and make you wash your face. So without further ado, let's get right into it. So step 1 would be choosing the right primer. Obviously you'll have to go and talk to people at drugstore like Boots or Superdrug and find out which primer will suit you the most. I would recommend any primer that is going to prolong the makeup the longest. Now, it's up to you whether you want to invest into it and buy a high-end primer, or if you want to just buy a drugstore. Majority of these products I'm going to be showing you today are drugstore, so it's easily accessible for you guys. They're either from Boots or Superdrug. Basically, if you got oily skin, you want to get a primer that's going to mattify and prolong your makeup, and if you got dry skin, you want to get a primer that's going to hydrate your face and also prolong your makeup. I am combination, but I found that the Rimmel Lasting Finish primer, which looks like this, is the most appropriate for my skin type and is the one that I have noticed the most any significant changes to the longevity of my makeup. So that's the one that we're going to be applying. Now, the reason why you want to prime your skin when you go into school or to work or whatever is just to make sure that your makeup lasts the length of the time that you want it to. Because I don't know how about you, but at school you can stay for up to 8 hours, if not longer, depending on your curricular activities as well. So you want to do as much as you can to basically not look like a hot mess at the end of the day. Obviously, powdering throughout the day or blotting using blotting sheets is very good as well, but primer is, in my opinion, very key step to this. Now, step 2 would be choosing your foundation or concealer. When I used to go to school, I wasn't allowed to get away with foundation, so I would usually just use concealer. And what I would do is put it underneath my eyes and then kind of just blend it out and also drag it downwards. Now, when I used to go to school, I used to not use any brushes or anything. I used to just use my fingers. But obviously, I'm going to be showing you how to use sponges and brushes and all that kind of stuff. But for the purpose of this video, let's say you can get away with foundation. So we're going to be putting foundation on, and you have several options. What I would recommend is using and choosing light coverage foundation, because the likelihood is that if you use very high coverage foundation, the teachers are going to notice and they're going to immediately send you to the bathroom or give you wet wipes to just basically clean your face with. And also if you got dad like me, he would just send you right back up and tell you to wash your face or So couple of light coverage options that you can do is for example the Revlon Color Stay foundation, and for all of these 3 options I would recommend using Real Techniques beauty sponge, or basically any form of sponge, because sponge is more likely, with liquidy foundations like this, is more likely to actually shear out the foundation on your face, which is going to provide you with the lighter coverage than when you would blend it out with a brush. And that's kind of what we're aiming for in here. So yeah, so we got the Revlon Color Stay. I would also recommend shearing out the L'Oreal Infallible. These 2 foundations are absolutely brilliant for when it comes to the longevity of the foundation on your skin for the rest of the day. Today I'm going to be using the Bourjois Healthy Mix Foundation because it gives me a bit of a healthier look to my skin without looking too much like I'm wearing foundation. Another thing that I would say is if you are using foundation and concealer, make sure you exfoliate your face to make sure you get rid of all of the dry, dead skin cells on your face, because if you do not, the foundation is going to cling onto those spots a lot more, and therefore it's going to be a lot more obvious that you're wearing foundation. Now once you have applied your foundation and made sure that you have spread your foundation down to your neck as well, because if you haven't and your foundation might not perfectly match you, it'll be really obvious that you're wearing foundation, we will move on to concealer. Once again, it all depends on how much you can get away with at your school, but the concealer, again, I would recommend a sheer coverage of a concealer. Nothing that will completely erase your under eye circles, because it'll be obvious that you're wearing that extra coverage concealer or foundation or whatever. One of the concealers I would recommend is the Maybelline Instant Anti-Age Razor Eye Concealer, which looks like this. I kind of like this, but for now, I think it does not match me completely. So for today's purpose, I'm going to be using the Bourjois Radiance Reveal Concealer, which matches me perfectly. It's the great shade for my skin tone, and I'm only going to apply a little bit just to tone down my under eye circles. And also with the foundation, I'm using the sheer / light coverage of foundation. Yes, you will still have your imperfection peeking through, but what we're trying to do is kind of neutralize them or minimize them, not completely get rid of them, because you're not going to get away with that at school, at least not at my school. Time for step 3, and that is setting your foundation and concealer in place to make sure it doesn't crease, because when it does crease, it makes it a little bit more obvious that you're wearing it. What I would recommend once again is a slight tap of a setting powder, and in this case I think it's best to wear a loose powder such as the Rimmel Match Perfection powder, which looks something like this. I really like this powder. I think it is pretty good drugstore powder. It gets the job done. So what I would recommend is pop some on like the lid, and then take a big face brush, like something like this, tap it in there, tap off the excess, and then just spread it across your face. Now this will happen, but we can fix that. But you just want to set your entire face, but not to the extreme. I wouldn't recommend baking when you go into school, because baking makes your skin look a lot drier, and we cannot perfect this completely with using highlighters and things like that, because it's going to obvious. So we have to be careful how much powder we use. Now, step 4, I would recommend blusher. In the step 5, we'll talk about bronzer and highlight, but step 4, I would recommend using blusher. And the reason for this is because once you put your foundation and concealer on, your face kind of looks blank. And some people might not be able to get away with using bronzer and highlight to bring the colour back to their face. So I would recommend using blusher to add a little bit more colour, and it's a lot less obvious that you're wearing any makeup, because you will naturally have a little bit of flush of colour on your face. For this purpose, I have chosen the Rimmel Lasting Finish Soft Colour Blush in 10 Santa Rose. It looks like this from the back, and then it looks like this at the front. And basically what I'm going to do is take a brush, lightly dip in there, tap off whatever excess, and just lightly dip onto the apples of my cheeks. Now you might not see any difference on a camera because the lights wash me out and all that stuff, but I see the difference on my face, and I know that it adds a subtle flush of colour onto my face, bringing back the life. we can move on to step 5. Now in the step 5, it's bronzer and highlight time. Now this all depends, again, repetitive, but basically how much you can get away with. If you can get away with some bronzer and highlight, I would recommend once again just a light hand into it. Now for the purpose of trying to make life a little bit easier for you guys, I've chosen the Makeup Revolution Iconic Lights and Contour Pro palette, which looks like this, and you have some bronzing up shades and also some highlight shades in this palette, so we're going to use them for both. And what you want to do is take, ideally, a big fluffy brush, something similar to this, even bigger if you have it in your collection, which I do, I just can't bother to dig it out, and take a shade that is appropriate for your skin tone. So I'm going to take this one right here, just tap it in there, tap off the excess, and then before I'm going to start applying it to my face, I'm going to dab it onto my hand to get rid of the first intense colour, and then I'm going to start lightly putting it all over my face. And this is the result. I don't know if you can see anything, but I have just lightly done that. So I'm just going to go ahead and finish this side. And then once you've done that, and once you're again happy with the result, you're going to move on to highlighting. And for highlighting, again, just a very, very light for highlighting, again, just a very, very light hand. You're going to dip in there, tap off the excess, and just lightly brush it. Now moving on to step 6, and that's the eyebrows. My recommendation is that if you have full eyebrows like me, where they're really hairy, really bushy, you can get away, in my opinion, with just brow gel. And I personally don't like brow gels, but what I like to do is take my spoolie and then spray it with hairspray. But for any of you who actually like to do your brows or need to do your brows, I would recommend using a product that is easily controlled and buildable, and B, using a slightly lighter shade than your natural hair colour. Like, I'm going to be using the Soap & Glory Archery pencil and tint. I'm only going to be using the pencil side of this. And I've got this in brownie points, which is not exactly medium brown or dark brown, which is my actual hair colour. And I find that using this trick actually makes my brows look a lot more natural. So let's move into showing you how I do my brows. Now once you're happy with the shape of your eyebrows, you're basically done for your eyebrows. I wouldn't add any coloured brow gels or anything like that because it's going to make it obvious. And also, unfortunately, I would recommend not overdrawing your eyebrows because that makes it pretty obvious that you're wearing something in your brows as well. But I mean, if you can't help it, if you need to do it, then you do you. This is just what I do, and the reason why I'm using hairspray is just because I found that it doesn't add any extra gunk into my hair, making them look really weird, and it actually holds my brow hair actually pretty good because I've been really lately liking the messy brow hair look. But anyway, moving on to step 7. Now, step 7 is using eyeliner, but I don't mean like making a wing or using it on your waterline, but using a black waterproof eyeliner or brown waterproof eyeliner into your tight line. This will help for step 8 when we're going to be applying mascara. It will help to make your lashes look thicker but not like overdone. So for this, I'm using the Soap & Glory Crazy Sexy Kohl eyeliner. I'm not sure if this claims to be waterproof, but it definitely is waterproof for me. It does not transfer onto my waterline. So that's what I am going to do. I'm going to tightline my... that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to tightline. And that's basically done. And I don't know if you can see the difference. I can, but it already made my upper lash line look a lot thicker. And if you do transfer accidentally any black eyeliner on your waterline, just take an earbud and clean it out. It should be very easy and straightforward. Now moving on to step 8. Step 8 is mascara. Now ideally, if you can't get away with mascara, I would recommend lash primer or clear clear mascara, because that'll add a little bit of volume but won't add any more blackness to your lashes. But if you can get away with mascara, I would definitely recommend mascara that you know lasts pretty long time or is waterproof. I'm going to be using today my Holy Grail mascara, which is the Essence Lash Princess Mascara. And another tip that I'm going to give you is do not put mascara on your lower lashes. If you want to get away with wearing mascara or increase the likelihood that you're going to get away with wearing mascara at school, you want to just put one light coat of mascara only on your top lashes. This will give the appearance of your eyes looking a lot more awake and a lot more put together, but it's not going to look like you've overdone it by putting mascara on your lower lashes. And also it'll decrease the risk of your lower lashes, like mascara on your lower lashes, smudging on your skin. So what we're going to do is put just one light coat on top lashes, no curling lashes or anything, because if you curl your lashes and also put your mascara on them, the teacher's going to know that you're wearing mascara. Now you might be able to get away with wearing a light coat of mascara on your lashes at your school, and that's why I would recommend doing this. Now this is my mascara done. I think it makes actually a large difference. I think it does make your lashes and generally your face look a lot more wide awake. Now moving on to step 9. We're almost done. Lip product. I know that a lot of people will think, oh, my lips look absolutely horrible, but I can't get away with lip product. I have a trick. You will take a nude lipstick or lip gloss or liquid lipstick or whatever you wanna. I wouldn't recommend liquid lipstick actually. And something that is your lips or better or identical to your lips. So for example, I'm going to take the Maybelline Vivid Matte Liquid lacquer thing, I don't know what it's called, and it looks something like this. Mine is in the shade 05 Nude Flush, and what I'm going to do is take a little bit, go like that, and then pat it out with my finger. Now you might find that this is a bit too much colour for you. You can do this basically with any lip colour that you can get away with. And I mean, throughout the day it's going to wear off anyway, but if you have found that it is a bit too much, take a normal tissue, pat your lips on it to take away a bit more of colour, or try a bit more nuder. Now, and we're at the final step, step 10. This is where the setting spray comes to play. Setting spray is good at taking away any dry looking stuff on your face, making everything to blend even better with your face, and also prolong your makeup. Now again, setting spray is something that you want to suit to your skin type, so if you've got oily skin and you get oily throughout the day, you might want to use a bit more mattifying spray, and vice versa. Now when it comes to setting spray that I have noticed has prolonged the wear of my foundation and generally my makeup the longest is the L'Oreal Infallible Fixing Mist. Now this is one of those setting sprays that you have to make sure you shake well, and even then some people don't like it. Another one that I kind of like a lot, but this one doesn't really prolong my makeup, is the Model's Own Makeup Fixing Spray. It looks like this. And for the purpose of the video, I'm going to use the Model's Own makeup setting spray, and what you want to do is shake it well, Take it quite away from your face and just spray. As you can tell, I sprayed quite a lot, and the reason for this is because usually when I set my foundation and concealer in place, my face looks really dry, so I like to bring a bit more life and moisture into my face by using a lot more setting spray, but I'm sure that 3 to 4 sprays is more than enough. And then what you want to do is, instead of let it dry on its own, you might want to help to speed up the drying process, because otherwise it can sometimes dry a bit funny and sit on top of your skin. And that, guys, is all. This has been the 10 steps that I would recommend you using for back to school makeup. If you're allowed to get away with some makeup, then use these steps. Obviously, add some steps, take away some steps, depends all on you, your own preferences, and what you can get away with. If you like this video, please subscribe, like, comment, talk to me in the comment section. I love talking to you guys. Other than that, I hope you're gonna enjoy going back to school and seeing your friends and all of that. I hope you're having an amazing day wherever in the world you are, and I'll talk to you in my next video. Bye!